If you've ever wondered why working hard isn't enough to make real money, Jim Rohn has an unpopular truth that'll flip everything you know upside down. And trust me, most people don't want to hear this because it challenges everything they've been taught about earning money. You might think working harder and longer hours is the key, right? Well, here's the twist. Jim Rohn argues that effort alone won't make you rich. In fact, there's something even more crucial. And if you miss this, you're guaranteed to stay stuck exactly where you are financially. So what's this critical secret Jim Rohn swears by? It's actually probably shockingly simple. Your income rarely exceeds your personal growth. Now that might sound overly simplistic, but stick with me because understanding this one concept can completely transform your financial future. You see, the marketplace pays for value, not effort or time. Jim Rohn famously said, "You don't get paid for the hour, you get paid for the value you bring to the hour." Think about that carefully. If it were just effort or hours, construction workers would be billionaires, right? But they aren't, because value determines your paycheck, not sweat. Here's a quick question. What value are you currently bringing to the marketplace? Really pause and think about it. Because once you understand this, you can immediately start changing your financial trajectory. Most people chase money directly, and that's exactly where they go wrong. Money isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by becoming valuable. This shifts everything. Instead of asking, "How can I make more money?" start asking, "How can I become more valuable?" But now you're probably wondering, how do you actually become valuable enough to attract real wealth? Well, Jim Rohn gives us 3 powerful strategies. And I promise, once you know these, your financial reality will change faster than you thought possible. First up, Jim insists you have to become a lifelong learner. Wait, before you roll your eyes, think about this. Most people stop learning after school, and that's exactly why their income stagnates. To increase your earnings, you need to increase your skills. Imagine doubling your skill level. What do you think would happen to your income? Exactly, it would skyrocket. But here's the real kicker, Jim's second strategy. He says, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Now, I know what you're thinking. Walt, how am I supposed to work harder on myself? Well, working on yourself means improving your mindset, your habits, and your discipline. And here's why it matters. When you improve these, your entire earning potential multiplies rapidly. And the third strategy, this one's often ignored, but it's an absolute game changer. You must surround yourself with people who lift your standards. Ever notice how your income matches closely with your friends? That's no accident. Jim Rohn discovered something fascinating about the people around you, and it has a direct impact on your bank account. Speaking of impact, let's open another loop. What exactly happens when you change your inner circle? I'll get to that shortly, but first, think about this. If you genuinely want to earn more, isn't it logical that your environment should support that goal? Most people settle for relationships of convenience, friendships they've just stumbled into. But what if you consciously designed your inner circle to reflect the success you want? Imagine being around people who constantly raise your expectations, challenge your excuses, and push you to be better. Doesn't that sound like the kind of environment that would almost automatically grow your wealth? But here's a problem. Most people won't take this step because it's uncomfortable. It means leaving behind familiar friendships for something uncertain but more valuable. And this brings us to another critical truth from Jim Rohn. Discomfort is the only path to meaningful growth. Everyone talks about growth, but few embrace the discomfort necessary to achieve it. And guess what? Your ability to embrace discomfort directly correlates with your ability to attract money. If you're feeling uneasy right now, good. That means you're ready for Jim Rohn's next profound insight. And this one truly separates the wealthy from everyone else. What is this next insight and how can it catapult your earnings practically overnight? You're about to find out. Just keep watching. Here's the insight that Jim Rohn says truly separates the wealthy from everyone else. Wealthy people take full responsibility for their outcomes, every single one of them. Now, before you dismiss that as obvious or simplistic, listen carefully because it's more profound than it sounds. Most people blame external circumstances when they're not earning enough. They blame the economy, their boss, their education. everything except themselves. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Every wealthy person you admire got there by deciding they alone are responsible for their financial situation. And when you make that same shift, your earning power multiplies. Imagine this. You're no longer waiting for the economy to improve or for your boss to give you a raise. Instead, you're proactively improving your skills, your mindset, and your discipline. You're becoming more valuable each day. How quickly would your income start growing if you took full control like that? But there's one final piece to Jim Rohn's puzzle, something most people overlook completely. And this last idea can single-handedly accelerate your journey toward real wealth faster than anything else. Jim taught that financial success isn't just about income. It's also about what you do with your income. You see, making money is one skill, but keeping and multiplying it is another skill altogether. Most people earn and spend without thinking, but Jim insists that wealth is created by investing a portion of your earnings consistently and wisely. Think about it. No matter how much money you make, if you don't learn how to manage it properly, you'll never achieve true financial freedom. Wealth, as Jim Rohn says, it is not determined by how much you earn, but by how much you keep and grow. So here's the critical question. What specific strategies should you follow to start multiplying your money right now? Well, Jim advises something incredibly practical. Pay yourself first. Every time money hits your account, set aside a percentage immediately for investing. Before bills, before groceries, before anything. Because if you don't, your money will always find other places to go. Now let's get brutally honest. Are you currently doing this, or is your money controlling you? When you start prioritizing your financial future, your future self will thank you immensely. Think about it. How would your life change if you knew every paycheck was building your wealth instead of just covering expenses? Jim also emphasizes another essential step: becoming financially educated. Most people simply don't take the time to understand money. They trust banks, financial advisors, or worse, they ignore their finances altogether. But knowledge truly is power when it comes to money. The more you learn about managing, investing, and multiplying your wealth, the faster you'll reach financial freedom. Here's the ultimate pattern interrupt. Stop relying solely on your job to make you rich. Instead, start focusing on creating multiple streams of income. Why? Because one source of income leaves you dangerously vulnerable, and that's a risk Jim Rohn strongly advises against. Imagine having 3, 4, or even 5 different income streams flowing into your account every month. Wouldn't that make you feel safer, more confident, and more financially independent? Of course it would. But how do you actually create these additional income streams? Jim Rohn says it's simpler than most people think. First, identify your skills and strengths. Then, find ways to monetize those abilities beyond your current job. Whether that's through investing, creating online businesses, or leveraging your expertise, multiple streams of income dramatically increase your wealth potential. Now, let's summarize Jim Rohn's unpopular truths quickly, because if you apply these, you'll radically transform your financial future. First, remember your income rarely exceeds your personal growth. Second, become more valuable to the marketplace through consistent self-improvement. Third, consciously elevate your inner circle. Fourth, embrace responsibility for your outcomes. And finally, prioritize financial education and multiple streams of income. So here's your next step. Choose at least one of these strategies to focus on right now because, as Jim Rohn wisely says, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. I'm Walt, and I promise, applying even one of these principles will make your future wealthier than your past. The choice is now yours.